Hey there folks, welcome back to another exciting episode where we explore the fascinating dynamics shaping our world today. Tonight we're diving into the world of BRICS, a coalition that's making waves on the global stage. No, not those colorful plastic building blocks you loved as a kid. We're talking about something much more impactful. We're talking about Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. 5 nations that have come together to form a formidable alliance. These emerging economies have joined forces to become a global powerhouse, influencing everything from trade to geopolitics. They first appeared on the scene back in 2001, thanks to some fancy financial analysts at Goldman Sachs who coined the term. But it wasn't until 2009 that they held their first official summit, marking the beginning of a new era in international relations. South Africa joined the party in 2010, adding even more diversity and strength to the group. Together, they're shaking things up and challenging the old guard like the G7 by offering an alternative vision for global governance. Think of BRICS as the cool kids table that everyone wants to join. They're setting trends and making headlines. They believe in working together to solve global problems, from economic inequality to climate change. And they're not afraid to stand up to the West and say, hey, we deserve a seat at the table too. They're advocating for a more balanced world order. They're all about multilateralism, which is a fancy way of saying they want everyone to play fair and have a voice. No more bullying by the big guys. They're here to level the playing field. They're like that group project you actually wanted to be a part of in school, where everyone contributes and the outcome is greater than the sum of its parts. You know, the one where everyone pulls their weight and gets a good grade. That's the spirit of BRICS. Except this group project has the potential to change the world as we know it, driving innovation and fostering sustainable development. So buckle up, Buttercup, because things are about to get interesting. The rise of BRICS is a story of ambition, collaboration, and a shared vision for a better future. Hold on to your hats, folks, because BRICS is expanding. This isn't just a minor adjustment, it's a seismic shift in the global economic landscape. They've decided to invite some new friends to the party, and these aren't just any friends. These are nations with significant economic and geopolitical clout. In 2023, they sent out invitations to Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. Each of these countries brings something unique to the table. That's right, even oil-rich Saudi Arabia is thinking about joining the cool kids table. With its vast oil reserves, Saudi Arabia could significantly bolster BRICS' energy portfolio. Now, Argentina politely declined the invitation. This decision might seem surprising, but there are layers to it. Maybe they had a scheduling conflict or something. Or perhaps they are weighing their options carefully, considering the long-term implications. And Saudi Arabia is still on the fence, playing hard to get. Their decision could hinge on a variety of factors, from regional politics to economic strategies, but the others jumped at the chance to join this influential group. For them, it's an opportunity to amplify their voices on the global stage. It's like being asked to join the Avengers, but for global economics and politics. Imagine the power and influence they can wield together. This expansion is a big deal. It signifies a shift in the balance of power, with BRICS positioning itself as a formidable counterweight to traditional Western alliances. It shows that BRICS is serious about becoming a major force on the world stage. They're not just expanding for the sake of it, they have a strategic vision. They're not just a flash in the pan, they're here to stay. This expansion lays a solid foundation for future growth and influence. And with new members come new ideas, new perspectives, and even more economic clout. The diversity within BRICS can lead to innovative solutions to global challenges. The old guard better watch out because BRICS is coming in hot. This dynamic group is set to reshape the global economic order, and they're just getting started. Let's talk numbers, shall we? Numbers that tell a story of shifting power and emerging influence. BRICS nations represent a whopping 40% of the world's population. That's a staggering figure when you think about it. That's almost half the people on this planet. Imagine the sheer diversity and potential within these countries, and their combined GDP is nothing to sneeze at either. We're talking about economies that are growing at an impressive rate. They account for a significant chunk of the global economy. Their influence is felt in markets around the world. It's like they've been hitting the gym and bulking up while the West wasn't looking. Their economic muscles are getting stronger by the day. But BRICS is about more than just money. It's about a vision for the future. They're on a mission to change the way the world works, to create systems that are fairer and more inclusive. They want to create a more just and equitable global order, one where every nation, big or small, has a say. one where everyone has a voice, not just the wealthy Western nations. It's about democratizing global governance. They're tired of the old boys club calling all the shots. They want to break the monopoly of power. They're like the Robin Hood of international relations, taking from the rich and giving to the, well, themselves mostly, but also to those who have been marginalized. But hey, at least they're trying to level the playing field. They're pushing for reforms that could benefit everyone. They're all about promoting sustainable development and tackling global challenges like climate change and poverty. They see these issues as interconnected and believe in collective action. From investing in renewable energy to supporting technological innovation, BRICS nations are paving the way for a greener, more sustainable future. They're also focusing on social initiatives, improving education and healthcare in their regions. It's about lifting people up and providing opportunities for all. Collaboration is key. By working together, these nations are proving that unity can lead to significant progress. In a world that's increasingly interconnected, the rise of BRICS is a testament to the power of cooperation and shared goals. So, as we look to the future, it's clear that the influence of BRICS will only continue to grow. They're not just challenging the Western order, they're redefining it. Okay, so maybe it's not all sunshine and roses in BRICS land. Like any good group project, they've got their fair share of challenges. For starters, they're a pretty diverse bunch. We're talking different cultures, different political systems, and even different levels of economic development. It's like trying to herd cats, but these cats are all wearing suits and carrying briefcases. Sometimes they get along swimmingly, and other times they're at each other's throats. There's a bit of rivalry going on, especially between China and India. They're like the popular kids in school, always vying for attention. And then there are the external pressures. The West isn't exactly thrilled about BRICS challenging their dominance, so they're not afraid to throw a few punches, whether it's economic sanctions or political maneuvering. Section 5, the New Development Bank, funding a new future. Now let's talk about the New Development Bank, or NDB for short. This is BRICS' answer to the World Bank. It's like the cool kids table decided to start their own bank because they were tired of the old one's rules. The NDB is all about funding infrastructure projects in developing countries. Think roads, bridges, renewable energy, you name it. They've already poured billions of dollars into projects around the world, showing that they're serious about making a difference. But here's the kicker, the NDB is open to all countries, not just BRICS members. It's like they're saying, hey, we're here to help everyone, not just our own clique. And that's a refreshing change of pace, don't you think? Section 6. Trading up, strengthening economic ties. One of the main reasons BRICS nations decided to team up is to boost their economies. And boy, have they succeeded. Trade between them has been skyrocketing, with China leading the charge. They're like the cool kid who always has the best snacks and everyone wants a piece of the action. We're talking billions and billions of dollars worth of goods changing hands. From raw materials to manufactured goods, they're trading it all. It's like a giant flea market, but instead of haggling over old lamps, they're negotiating multi-million-dollar deals. And it's not just about making money. This increased trade is creating jobs, boosting innovation, and helping to lift people out of poverty. It's a win-win for everyone involved. Well, except maybe for those Western economies that are starting to feel the heat. Section 7. A united front, political and security cooperation. BRICS isn't just about economics, folks. They also care about peace and security. They believe in working together to resolve conflicts and promote stability around the world. They're like the United Nations, but with a lot less bureaucracy and a lot more swagger. They hold regular meetings to discuss global hotspots and coordinate their foreign policy. They've even conducted joint military exercises just to show the world they mean business. They're like the Avengers, but instead of fighting supervillains, they're tackling terrorism, piracy, and other threats to international peace. Now, they don't always agree on everything. They've got different perspectives on some issues, and sometimes those differences can lead to disagreements. But hey, at least they're talking to each other. That's more than you can say for some other groups we could mention. Section 8. Bridging cultures, people-to-people connections. Here's something you might not know about BRICS. They're not just about politics and economics. They also believe in fostering cultural exchange and people-to-people connections. They're like that friend who's always trying to set you up on blind dates, but in a good way. They organize film festivals, art exhibitions, student exchange programs, and all sorts of other cool initiatives to bring their people closer together. It's like a giant cultural melting pot, but instead of everyone trying to blend in, they're celebrating their differences. They understand that building trust and understanding between people is essential for creating a more peaceful and prosperous world. Plus, it's a lot more fun than just sitting around talking about trade deficits and security threats all the time. Section 9. A new financial order towards independence. Alright folks, here's where things get really interesting. BRICS nations are tired of relying on the US dollar for everything. They're like teenagers who are finally ready to move out of their parents' basement and make their own way in the world. They're increasingly using their own currencies for trade and investment. They're setting up their own payment systems, like China's alternative to SWIFT. And they're creating their own financial institutions, like the new development bank. They're basically saying, hey, West, we don't need your money anymore, we've got this. Now it's not going to happen overnight, the US dollar is still the king of the global financial system, but BRICS is slowly but surely chipping away at its dominance. And that, my friends, is a big deal.